Let's talk about Apple Computer. They're not computer anymore. Apple, you saw yesterday, hit an all-time record in terms of market cap, and there they are today, up about 0.5%. So, adding to those gains. Where do they go? Yeah, this is such a weird story, I got to tell you. So yesterday, they got downgraded.
Yes.
Right? Who did they get downgraded by?
Yes.
Wasn't JP Morgan. Wasn't Citi.
Wasn't Goldman Sachs.
Wasn't Goldman Sachs.
It was this research outfit called, let me make sure I get this right, Oracle Investment Research.
I read it first, and I thought I saw Oracle, and I thought the company, no one's ever heard of this. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yes.
No one's really ever heard of this.
They don't have a big reputation, I guess until yesterday, until everyone learned about them. But what was interesting, though, is that it just goes to show that, especially with a company like Apple, with the stock at all-time highs, and it seems like it's such a momentum play, even though it's the biggest company in the U.S. right now, it's such a momentum play, especially at these levels. So we were watching yesterday, the stock opened higher, so it was, it kept making new highs again, and then you saw it on Twitter. You saw people chatting about Apple's downgraded. Apple's downgraded. Right. Even though it was this company, Oracle Investment Research, who's that? Still, it generated some chatter, and you saw it in the trading volume yesterday. The trading volume was more than twice the average daily volume. So there was a lot of activity, there was a lot of trading going around, and the stock turned around. Now, in the grand scheme of things, 2% drop, from the highs, not a lot, and closed down 1%, but it had an impact, though. Definitely generated a lot of chatter, and we'll see what happens next. I mean, this company, their big quote in the report was, "The hype concerns us." Yeah. And I think that really underscores what's going on right now. There's so much hype around Apple.
Right, and look, their earnings growth is great, the revenue growth is great, the company's product. You can make a case for buying Apple.
Yeah.
But historically, every company, look, Oracle, you never heard of them, right? But every company that's ever been in the position Apple's in, right? They're the all-time market cap leader. Eventually, they have faded from that position. I mean, it doesn't mean they're going to crash, collapse, but eventually they have faded from that position.
And so the question is, when is that going to happen for Apple? Is this the peak? Is the peak next year? Is it the year after that? I mean, that's the big unknown, of course. And so you can look, there's several metrics based on valuation alone. This company still looks relatively cheap. Yeah. So who knows at this point? But I mean, I think that's a very telling sign. The hype concerns us. The hype has been there for quite a while, and it still hasn't knocked the stock off. So I guess it could last for a while, but that has to be, if you are concerned about the stock, that's one of the major
It's unbelievable.
factors.
You can argue, is it really hype?
Right.
I mean, as much as people laud this company, they beat estimates almost every single time. It's unbelievable. And we know that they're going to come out with the Apple 5, September 12th, that they won't talk about, blah, blah, blah. But we know they're going to come out with another new iPhone.
iPhone 5, new iPad, Apple TV. These are all major product categories that if they really are going to keep innovating and really ramp up these new products, I mean, who knows? The story could keep going. Which is so
depressing, because I have the iPhone 4S, and I'm living on top right now. I got the top, it's not going to last, though. Much like perhaps Apple's position at the top of the world, right?
Much like.
Doesn't last forever. Something new always comes along. Some shiny new thing always comes along. All right, Steve Russolillo, let's get back to the blog, where I will meet you in a few minutes.